Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the 156th episode of Tone Stakes. And let me just start with this. I think that the elimination of the beauty pageant, the swimsuit competition, and the Miss America contest is the best thing to happen in this Me Too era for women. And I will explain why. Let's start off by going way back, way back to the 1920s. Have you all seen this picture of the very first Miss America winner? Isn't she a beaut? Just a beaut, right? I mean, that's pretty much what they probably said back then. But back then it was known as the Fall Frolic, and according to the MissAmerica.org Our History timeline, it was known as the Fall Frolic, and it was used to attract tourists to Atlantic City. The next year in 1921, a bunch of newspaper circulation managers met in Philadelphia, and they really discussed, how can we make this into a bigger popularity contest? And then in 1921, they had this inner city beauty contest held on September 7th. It was judged 50% on audience applause and 50% by a judge's decision after a day of mingling with contestants and a final appearance on stage. And it was 16-year-old Margaret Gorman, who is Miss Washington, D.C., who would eventually win the trophy, and she would win the trophy for her appearance in the Boardwalk Parade, noting her popularity with the crowds and parade goers. So that was the very first Miss America winner, and as you can see, she looks very beautiful. She's stunting in what looks like a flag and Lady Liberty on a crown on her head. Very beautiful, very, demure, not all this flashy stuff. Fast forward to today, and if you've watched any of the recent Miss America pageants, you know that pretty much everyone tunes in for one thing, and it is the swimsuit competition, where women pretty much bounce around on stage, flaunting pretty much all of their assets in what seems like it's nothing more than cows being herded towards a slaughter to be eaten by meat, to be eaten by people, in which our case is mainly men who care about seeing this stuff. And so all of that is changing because starting, I'm guessing it's going to be this year, but maybe next year, we're saying bye-bye bikini. It was posted on Cara Munn's Twitter page, where the bikini completely disappeared and evaporated in thin air, and Miss America 2.0 showed in its place with the hashtag bye-bye bikini. Basically, they're getting rid of it all, and announced on GMA as well this morning by the former 1989 Miss America winner, Gretchen Carlson. She basically explained, why they were getting rid of this competition, and basically for many reasons, mainly that it's just not necessary. It's not what women need in this day and age. It's not what men need in this day and age. We don't need to be flaunting women based on physical appearance. There's so much more to a woman, and many men just don't seem to understand that at all. I was reading between two articles, and one of them I'll talk about later here, but it was basically, men that were pissed off, women that were happy, and some of the men that were pissed off are, just upset. For what? One man said, "This will be the last year Miss America is televised. Half your viewers only watch for the swimsuit. If someone wants to watch a talent competition, there's America's Got Talent, The Voice, American Idol, and all the dance shows, and too many others to count." And while I agree with those sentiments, it's interesting because you have, one article that says it's long overdue, and I agree with that. But then there's also another article that says even without the swimsuit competition, Miss America is indefensible, and I can agree with that as well. What are these women really going to be judged on? Basically, if you're judging these women on other things, you might as well just have the judges and people put a blindfold on, because it's going to be hard to erase the years, the decades of having these women paraded across stage and not have people take their looks into consideration. And a lot of the times, what some of these women would say just didn't make any sense at all when they were being interviewed. So I thought about this, and I said, well, you know what? Why do we have America's Got Talent? Why do we have The Voice? Why do we have American Idol? And why do we have World of Dance? Why do we have all these competitions when they're not necessary? And when you think about it, if women are to be judged by what they have to say and what they aspire to be and how they aspire to change America, well, isn't that what our elections are about? And shouldn't those women be looking for a way to get into politics? And that also got me thinking, hey, we should actually have a pantsuit competition. Just completely replace the swimsuit and the evening gown competition with a pantsuit competition. And you know who would really kill that is Hillary Clinton. But in the end, this is what really got me. I don't think it's just a matter because, no, they don't, people like this in these pageantry industries, which is no longer a pageant, it's a competition, they don't just make these decisions for the good of people. There's got to be a real sound business decision here. And then it struck me, this is to be all inclusive. That's pretty much why they're doing this. They want women to feel empowered by this. They want women of all shapes and sizes to be able to get involved. And really, what they want to be able to do is sell brands to you. Did that ever dawn on you? Because it dawned on me that this is all about selling more brands. Many people, when they see women, especially when they see a swimsuit being trounced across stage, they're not like, oh, I'm going to really buy that swimsuit. Or if they see an evening gown, how many women out of the 365 days in a year will actually wear a swimsuit or an evening gown? Now, if these women don't have to wear a swimsuit or an evening gown, but they can wear whatever they choose to wear, which is pretty much what they said is going to be available, can you imagine all of the major fashion houses and even the minor fashion houses that are now going to be flocking to try to get their clothes worn by these women? And it'll be clothes that women can wear every day at work, while they're going to school, while they're doing their errands, all these different things. I mean, when you look at corporate America, it's a fashion show in itself in some of these Fortune 500 companies to begin with. So now just imagine the amount of money that's going to be poured into this. And I do believe that more people are going to watch to see some of the really awesome styles. It'll be like, red carpet for the corporate world. So I'm really interested to actually see what's going to happen here. I believe that it's going to take that path. Again, this is mainly a way for the Miss America pageant to kind of rebrand itself. It started off as, in the wake of the Me Too movement, there were a lot of emails that came out from the CEO and the chairman, who were, I believe, both men, and just a whole lot of salacious things that they were saying about the women. So I think this rebranding effort really also allowed them to say, hey, we can actually make money off of this, and it'll be a good thing. So again, I think it's good all in the end, regardless of what men have to say and what women have to say. It makes great business sense for Miss America. I'll be interested to see how that translates to things like Miss Universe, and even more importantly, how it translates to other pageants that are done by teens and young female adults and even young children and cheerleading competitions, where basically they're just being judged on how well they can flaunt their body and move their body. I hope all of that goes away, because it's just not good. It's not good for women to feel like that's the only way that they can be judged and that they can be seen as successful in the world. So those are my thoughts. Let me know what you all think, and I will see you all tomorrow. Peace out.